Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hello everybody, Kieran aka The Laird here, and I'm back with an episode of Modern Retro, and something new and retro, and something very exciting, because if you've been following the news lately in the retro scene, and you might have seen this, which is the Llamasoft / Jeff Minter collection that has recently come out for all modern formats, so Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. And the compilation has been put together by none other than Digital Eclipse, who you might remember did the absolutely wonderful Atari 50. So here we go, here's their logo. So if that isn't a mark of pedigree in terms of doing retro stuff justice, I don't know what is. So I was quite excited when they announced this. I was even more excited when I heard that it had come out. And here we are with this Jeff Minter collection. I'm just waiting for it to go through the boot up sequence. And I also want to say that I've literally just downloaded this. So I've not actually seen it or played it before myself. So that's a first for these videos as well. Because usually when I do these videos, obviously I pick games that have been out for a while, stuff that I know, that I've played. So really, I'm actually experiencing this for the first time here as well. Although I have seen a fair bit about it online, so I already know quite a bit of what it's all about. So let's have a look. So there's the Jeff Minter story. So A to start, and it's not doing anything. There we go. Right, it's gone into it now for some reason. So yes, it looks like they've gone for the old timeline thing like they did in Atari 50, which is actually a really sensible idea because I thought that was really, really good. So you've got introduction video for him, where he grew up. So we've got photos of different little things. So you get like kind of points for going through all these different things, like you always do. Commodore PET, learning basic, as his notebook. So I'm really glad that they've gone down this route because this is probably one of my favourite things about Atari 50 was the way they did this. So we've got loads of these early games for Commodore PET. Then it talks about the Spectrum and the ZX81 and the ZX80. So there's one of his first games, 3D. And there's another one, his own version of Atari Centipede for the ZX81, which you can actually play. So like Atari 50, when you find some of these things, it does give you the opportunity to play them. That one's available to play as well. But let's have a look at this one then. We'll go in and we'll have a little look at this. This is one of his earliest games. So there we go. So it emulates it all with an old school TV. We've got scan lines there as well. Very cool indeed. So let's have a look. So how do I put in the speed? I don't know. Right trigger is done. Oh, I see. Left stick number. How many bases a game? Okay. Prepare yourself. Okay, so here we go. It even takes ages to draw the screen like it would in a real ZX81, so that's quite funny as well. No sound, of course, in ZX81 games at all. You can't move up like you can in proper Centipede. But actually, it's not represented too badly, is it? You've got no extra enemies. You've literally just got the Centipede. And of course, the ZX81 had very, very limited graphics capabilities. So what you usually had to do was use characters, character graphics. There was ways of getting around that. Some very clever coding. A few people managed it to do proper graphics with clever coding, but yeah, not in this one. Just noticed that the camera's cutting the top of the screen off very, very slightly. It shouldn't be too much of an issue though. But yeah, that's let's go out of that because I don't think we need. You've got options there to change the screen mode as well. That you can go wide. You can turn the filter on and off, border on and off. much like you had on Atari 50, to be fair. Okay, let's have a look what else we've got. So it talks about him going to university, and then he gets introduced to the Commodore Vic 20, which is obviously a pretty important system for him. So again, we've got games we can play there. So there's another game you can play. Some early Llamasoft logos and stuff. Falklands War. Buenos Aires. Oh, brilliant. So he made his own version of the old game Blitz for the Vic 20. So he made his own version of Blitz. So let's have a look at that. So we need to have a look at a Vic 20 game, don't we? That should be part of any Jeff Minter video, because obviously the Vic 20 was a very important computer for him. He did a lot of very good Vic 20 games. So why is it not dropping the bomb? None of the buttons are working. Well, it says drop bomb is A, but A is not working. Oh, now it is. That's really strange. So I found a bug. It wasn't working, but when I paused it, it started working. Very strange. I'm sure you know how Blitz works. So basically what you're trying to do is clear all the buildings so the plane will land, basically. So you have to time your bombs, because you've got to try and take out the tallest buildings first. Like this, really. Oh, bugger, I missed that one. Ah, this time that one as well. Oh, there we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? I'm not sure I'll do it though, because of the fact that the buttons weren't working at the beginning, so I kind of missed a couple of flyovers. See, I'm going to crash now because I didn't get that building. But there we go. Ow. But yeah, there we go. So I actually wasn't aware of that game. So that's quite cool to see. And his own version of Defender. I wonder if there's actually any photos of the events that he's done over the years on here, because I've met him many times. I used to be involved in organising the Retrovision events in Oxford that was actually came about because of him and his forum, the Yak Yak forum, and I used to be involved in organising that, and I did organise 2 of them myself completely, and he always came to those, so I got to meet him quite a few times at those. Remember at Play Expo a few times as well. We interviewed him for Retro Gamer. Always enjoyed talking to him. Such a cool guy. Such a fan of his games as well. So it's kind of nice to have both, you know. So that's another Vic 20 game. Ratman. I actually looked at Ratman in. I did it in my Vic 20 exclusives video. And then we've got a bit about the Spectrum. There we go. After the Vic 20. So we've got some Spectrum games. So. Let's have a look at one of these. So let's have a look at what Rocks 3 for the Spectrum, shall we? Press the wrong button, so we want to play that, don't we? There it goes straight to a scoreboard. Enter to begin. I'm sure they've remapped that for fire. So this is programmed in BASIC as well, because it's taken ages to draw the screen. I can't actually see what I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, it's not drawing a line or anything when I shoot them though. Oh. Oh, I see. So it's like a kind of missile command clone, but you've got to try and get the rockets like the thing there, the asteroids like that. Actually, it's a bit like Astro Smash, the Intellivision, isn't it? An Astro Blast, the 2600, same game. Okay, so the camera died there because it run out of space, which is really stupid because it seems that it's not deleting stuff from the trash on the camera anymore. It was doing this once before and I can't figure out why, because it's got a thing that it auto deletes after 2 weeks, but it turns out it's not doing it. But I was trying to say, I don't know if it caught me before I got cut off, but I was trying to say I don't want to spend too long on each game because there's so much content on here, which because I kind of already know about the amount of content that's on here. So Andy's attack, more videos, and then it goes into the next part, so chapter 2. So this goes into, I think, probably Jeff Minter's finest years in many ways, because it was when he moved over to the Atari 8-bit as well, and the Commodore 64. So there's some there's Abductor, which I've looked at on my channel actually in the past. There's the Vic 20 version of Grid Runner, it looks like, which is an excellent game. I don't know if the Atari 8-bit version's on here as well. Rocks. There's Grid Runner as well there. Grid Runner C64 version. So Headbangers Heaven, another Spectrum game. Attack of the Mutant Camels, that's the C64 version again. Is there none of the Atari 8-bit versions on here? I might have to go back in a minute. I was trying to see if there's any Atari 8-bit versions on here. There's a sequel, Matrix. So here's Atari 8-bit, okay. There's another nice photo, Hover Bother, which is Atari 8-bit. That's nice to see on there. We can play that. Mega Galactic Llamas. It's a great game, that is. I really like that game. Commodore 64 version. There's Revenge of the Mutant Camels. All Hell Has Broken, Hellgate, yep. Sheep in Space, that's a good game. I've looked at that on my channel as well in the past. I think I did it in my Commodore 64 exclusives video actually. There's the Atari 8-bit version of Attack of the Mutant Camels. Let's have a look at that then. So we haven't done a game from this selection yet, so let's go with that. Nice raster effects there. So of course this was his answer to the Return of the Jedi in the 2600. God, this plays really fast. I don't remember it playing this fast on a real Atari. Perhaps it did, and I'm misremembering how fast it actually is. Just got to keep shooting really to stop them reaching the base. I'm sure you know how this game works, but it's a classic. Oh, I got overrun, so I did absolute crap on that, didn't I? Yeah, it was me failing at games. It gives us a look at another game, doesn't it? Which is what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to give you a bit of an overview of what's on here, really. I don't want to ruin too much, but you could leave other stuff for you to see if you download it, which of course you should do. Psychedelia's kind of one of his first light synths that he did. There's Mama Llama. Colour Space, another of his light synths. Became a bit obsessed with doing the light synths because of course culminating well, not culminated, it wasn't the final one, but VLM on the Jaguar CD is probably the one that resonates most with me because I loved it and used it so much. And there's the Atari ST, of course, which is important to him. Colour Space. I remember I had Colour Space. I got it on a cover disc, I seem to remember. It's Idris Alpha, Commodore 64. Sorry, Iridis Alpha, Viva Vic. Lots of cool stuff on there. It's him moving to Wales with his sheep. There's a Commodore 16, so he did some stuff for that. There's Void Runner, another grid runner game. Very good, actually. I think Void Runner is quite underrated. Let's go and play that because that's a Commodore 64 version. So I like Grid Runner. It's just really, really mental, really. Now for some reason the game won't start. Why have I got a problem with the A button not working again? Nope, I can't get Void Runner to play at all. Which is really strange because it just won't play the game. I press A and it doesn't do anything. So I don't know why I'm having a problem with controls not working on some of the games. Very, very strange. I wanted to show you Void Runner, but I can't because it won't work. There's Revenge 2, which unfortunately isn't nowhere near as good because I think he did the 64 version, but then other people did the ports. So I always felt that Revenge 2 was a bit half-hearted. I don't think it was as good as any of the others. Next up, so obviously 16-bit years. And this is interesting because there's Andy's Attack, that's the ST version. So, it's a remake of his Vic 20 game. Can you play Andy's Attack? No, that's a shame. Super Grid Runner. I have to say, I'm not such a fan of Super Grid Runner, but now this is interesting because we've got the Connex multi-system, the amazing unreleased console that was kind of the dream of British schoolboys everywhere who just drooled over this thing and thought it was going to be amazing. There's some stuff about that on here because he developed some games for that. Photon Storm, Atari ST, and then VLM, Jaguar. An Attack of the Mutant Camels 89 for the Connex multi-system. So they've put Connex multi-system never released, the games were never released. Thankfully this game was found and recovered some time ago, and you can play it on here. So you actually get to play a Connex multi-system game, which is just incredible that this is on here, and you can see what this console could have been, really. Well, I say that, but it's not actually working. The controls aren't working at all. Right, do I have to use the other joypad or something? Because I can't get the controls to work again. It's just not doing anything. No, controls aren't working. So I've got another game here where I can't play it because the controls won't work, which is really, really, really bizarre. And I can't understand this, why I've got this issue. Because I mean, it's not my controller, because if I do this, let's try changing these and then see if this helps me fix it. Right, we'll try this then. I'll change it to the analog stick and then see if it lets me control it. No, so it's still got no controls. So hopefully this is something that's been fixed with an update, because yeah, I can't get the controls to work on it, unfortunately. So that's a real shame. So that's 2 games now I've found where the controls will not work at all. So when talking about the Atari ST, you can't not talk about Llamatron, which is probably one of my favourite games of all time, to be honest. So let's hope that this one does work. I made it like it's on an Atari ST monitor. And I'm hoping that what we've got actually here is the 1 meg version, because the 1 meg version is actually slightly better. So again, the controls won't work. I can't understand why the controls are not working. Right, there we go. I went out of it and into it, and it seems that the controls might be working now. Yeah, and you can use twin stick controls, which is amazing. Because on the ST, you might think that's something new, but it's not. The ST version did offer twin stick controls because you could use two joysticks, a bit like Robotron on the 7800. Now, I will say that it's nice to see this in here, but the sound emulation seems to be totally off. It sounds really horrible and hard. I'm not sure why. The the emulation is not right on the ST. It seems to be a little bit slower as well. But it's mainly that really harsh sound. It shouldn't sound like that. The shooting sound sounds totally wrong. Speech samples sound too quiet. Well, it's on here, which is nice, but it's a shame that the sound is a little bit off. But Robotron is such a cool game, especially with the second player as well. I used to play it with my brother all the time. I mean, I'd rather play Llamatron than Robotron, obviously the game that it's ripping off, because the power-ups and stuff in this game are so cool. And there's the Mandelbrot. I love that. You've got the Mandelbrot that comes to get you. And usually kills you because it's an absolute bugger. So that scream sounds wrong. It sounds different to that on an ST. The sound emulation is well off. That's such a shame. I mean, it doesn't ruin my enjoyment of the game too much, but it is a shame that the sound emulation is off. But at least that seems to be the way to get the controls to work, though, is to go out of the go out of it and go back in. So there's Revenge of the Mutant Camels ST, because he's talking about he was going to do some stuff for the Panther, so it mentions that there. Panther stuff has never been recovered, unlike Conix. No one's ever found a working Panther with any work. Well, there are people who claim to have working Panthers, but there's no working software. So we've never found any Panther software of any kind, which is a shame. So we've got nothing to test on those Panthers that are out there. Revenge of the Mutant Camels ST. Let's play that briefly, because this is another favourite of mine. I remember this so well. This is really cool. And also, what's really cool about this is that the Atari Lynx makes an appearance in this as well. Which I always thought was really cool. There we go. Let's see if we can... But again, the controls aren't working. Go out of it, go into it, and it starts working again. I don't get why that is the case. You can have a CPU assist, which is good. Rather than having a second player, you can get... And there's the Atari Lynx. See, I told you Atari Lynx made an appearance, didn't I? It's actually on the first level. You can get the computer to help you. But ride on my back as well. Bonkers game. But I love this game. It is so good. And there's the Game Boy in here as well. Yeah, Revenge of the Mutant Camels is so good. I used to play this game so much. It's so much fun. Again, the sound emulation seems to be off like it was with Llamatron, but it's perfectly playable. Get the power-ups. Don't get the skull one. If I remember rightly, that's a bad power-up. But I'm going to be playing that for ages, and I'm trying to show you everything that's on here. I just noticed that actually says it's using the ported Atari Jaguar version of Revenge of the Mutant Camels there. Yeah, this version of the game credited the port of the original Atari ST release running on the Atari Jaguar platform. So I'm guessing it was the same with Llamasoft, which is probably why the sound emulation is totally off. That must be why. So obviously Tempest 2000, I'm not going to show you that because there's no point. Everyone knows Tempest 2000, it's in Atari 50 as well. So that's a repeat from Atari 50. And there we go. That kind of goes through it all because obviously you explore it, it gives you a percentage of how much you've looked at, like with Atari 50. But that's it. We've got all these decades. You can go through it as a story mode, or you can just do the games like that by clicking the button there and go through every single game so you can see a little bit of each one. If you don't, well, once you complete the story mode, I suppose this is even better because once you've 100% on everything, you can just go through here to play the games you want to play. Obviously your favourites or whatever. My favourites are definitely the Llamatron Grid Runner, although it's a shame it hasn't got the Atari 8-bit version on there because that's my favourite version. Revenge of the Mutant Camels, Tempest 2000, obviously there's such cracking stuff on here. It's a shame he hasn't got Llamasoft from the Atari Falcon on here. Bit of a shame that's not on here. I think that's a notable miss for me because that would have been cool to have on here. Although I know the Falcon's quite hard to emulate, so that's probably why it wasn't included, but that would have been really good if they had put that on here. I suppose Defender 2000 for the Jaguar might be nice, but obviously there would have been problems with the licensing on that one because they would have had to pay Warner Brothers for the license and stuff. But yeah, I can't complain too much because what's on here is absolutely fantastic, and it does have loads and loads and loads of games to play, and all of the games that are on here are brilliant. Although just noticed here that Defender 2 is on here from the Atari ST and Amiga, so they must have paid Midway to license Defender 2 to put that on here. So that makes it even stranger that they haven't got Defender 2000. Oh, there is Llamasoft, but oh, you can't play it. Does it just show it? Yeah, so it doesn't look like you can play it. It looks like it's just or do you have to unlock it? I don't know. That's very, very strange. Okay, Tempest 3000 there as well. So maybe there's some stuff. Oh, it's just it's just a game. Oh, it's a gameography. So he's just showing all these games that he's ever done. Oh, okay, that's what confused me a little bit. So it goes right up to Aka R, which is obviously his most recent one that he did for Atari. That did confuse me a little bit because I was talking about them not being on here, and it shows them in the gameography. Got ya. So, but it's a shame. Obviously, Defender 2000 wasn't one you could play, but you know, and there we go. But anyway, this video is going to be long enough without me going into more and more stuff. But yeah, this is an essential buy. This is so good. If you're a fan of Jeff Minter's work, then get this. If you're a fan of retro gaming in general, get it. If you're not familiar with Jeff Minter, flipping get it, because there's so many great games on here. You're going to find something you enjoy. It's brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant, and it really does the great man justice. So well done, Digital Eclipse. This is a real 10 out of 10 release and a must-have. And if you want to know the price, actually on Xbox, I just downloaded it. It was £25, which I think is really reasonable for the level of content that's on here. But I've been the Laird. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again for another video very soon. Bye bye.